Today's show is brought to you by Witness Wear. That's clothing that sparks a conversation. How do you get your witness wear? Go to www.columbuscody.com. Again, that's www.columbuscody.com. And remember, every t-shirt sold, the proceeds will be used to pour into the lives of others. God bless. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another Living the Life show. I'm your host, Columbus Cody. I'm so glad you joined us today for the verse of the day. Here it is. So today's verse of the day comes from Matthew chapter 6 and verse 3, and it says this: But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand doeth. Now, what's that saying? When you do good, when you pour into the life of someone else, when you help the needy, don't brag about it. Don't show off about it. Don't put it on your Instagram and your Facebook. Let it be between you, them, and God. All right? When you do what's right and you don't have to be patted on the back for it, God blesses you. God honors you. But when we do things so that others will see us and congratulate us and honor us, then God says you have your reward. Okay? I'll never forget, years ago, I was teaching elementary, so it's probably been almost 15 years ago. And I was listening to one of my colleagues talk, and she was in a bad spot financially. And she needed some, I can't remember what happened, but she needed like $125 to do something that she didn't have. Now, I was struggling at this time. I had $125, but I was struggling. And I felt God speaking to my spirit intensely. You need to help her. Give her the 125. And I dismissed it. I was like, nah, that ain't God, because God knows that losing 125 is going to hurt me. That can't be God. So I dismissed it. And then I heard it again, and it was loud and it was clear. Give her the 125, but do not tell her it's from you. Okay? So I typed up a little note to encourage her, and I put the money in an envelope with the note, and I stuck it in her mailbox, and so that she wouldn't know where it came from, and no one else would know that I'd given it to her. And I heard her a couple days later rejoicing and praising God for the blessing that she had received. And I felt the enemy try to tell me or try to influence me to try to take credit for that. But what we do, we should do it so that God gets honored. God gets the glory. And so I kept my mouth shut. And let me tell you, since that day, God has never forsaken me. God has always done well by me. Okay? So when I do for someone else, I don't do it so that other people will see it. All right? I was reading a book once, and I recommend you guys read this book or listen to it if you can find it on audio. It's called God Pocket, or The God Pocket. And the author is trying to illustrate how every time he gets money or paid, he would take a portion of his money, he'd put it away in the God pocket. That means that's God's money. And he listens for the Spirit to direct him on who to give that money to, how much of it, and who to give it to. That's God's money. That's not my money. That is God's pocket. And so he was in the drive-thru one day at a fast food restaurant, and he felt the Spirit compel him to give the $50 in his God pocket to the young lady at the window. And he was like, Lord, you sure you want me to give her $50? He heard it again. He sensed it again. Give the young lady in the drive-thru window the $50. So she hands him his food, and he reaches over, he grabs it, and he's going to say, young lady, this might seem weird, but I feel like the Lord has told me to give you this. And he hands her the envelope with the $50, and he just drives off. So a couple of days go by, and he comes back to the restaurant again to grab something from the drive-thru. And when he pulls up, it's the young lady again. And she says to him, the other day when you gave me that envelope with the $50, it tremendously blessed me. I'm about to have my first child, and you have to have a car seat in order to come home from the hospital. And I didn't have a car seat. And the $50 is exactly what I needed to purchase my car seat. All right. And I share this story with you to say to you, you need to make sure you have something reserved for God to use. And if you allow God if you allow God to use what you have to be a blessing to others, God always makes sure you have more to put in the God pocket. And God is not expecting you to put 100% in the God pocket. But if you're willing to put something in the God pocket and be a blessing to others, God will continue to bless you because you get it. You understand it. It's not just about you. It's about you being a blessing to someone else. So I say that to say, when you do good and you do good for someone who needs it, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. And that's the verse of the day. And you know what you got to do? Watch it, share it, live it. Now let's get busy living the life. God bless.